Hello and welcome back to Into Lifting, and thank you for tuning in once again after what has been a 16-week, that's 4-month hiatus we can call it. And there are a number of reasons for that, which I'll get into in a moment. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, please drop the video a like, and if possible, please share this with anyone that you think may enjoy it. So yeah, where we last left the series was episode 10. So we had a 10 episode build up from day one right up to the powerlifting competition. And the last episode was the powerlifting competition in Eastbourne that I entered. And if I'm honest, it did not go to plan. I was a little bit deflated afterwards. So let's take a little recap of where we left in the competition, and then also the week of PR testing I had the week after the competition. So this was the third squat lift of the competition, and I'd failed my previous 2 attempts and been red lighted. So as you can see, I'm quite visibly nervous here. We had 175 kilos on the bar. I was aiming for 190, but because I'd failed the 2 others, I went for 175, and it moved all right. Probably could have moved quicker, but it was a reasonable lift. It was white lighted, and as you can see, it means I can continue the competition. So I was absolutely buzzing at that. And we had bench, 115 kilos, nothing special. Moved okay, again, could have moved faster, a little bit slow. And then finally we had the deadlift, and I worked up to 210 kilos, which I thought I could do more, but I was just happy that that was like the 9 lifts done and I could score a total. Then a week later, I decided to do 3 days of PR testing. So here I am with a 200 kilo squat. Not the prettiest rep, knees drop in, speed is slow, but for me that was a real mark in the sand, and I was buzzing to get this 200 kilos, well excited, as you can see. Then we had bench, so I went to 125 kilos for the bench, which was 10 up from the comp the week before. And again, I think this moved pretty well, bit slow, bit lopsided, but it moved. Again, happy with that. And then finally we had the deadlift. Now I'm absolutely bricking this. 220 kilos was like massive for me at the time, so really like trying to psych myself up, keep pulling on the bar, which is dumb, which I now know. And here we go, moved away from me, slow up the thighs, locked out, and I'm absolutely ecstatic. So as I said, I was a little bit deflated after I came back from that competition, and then even the PB lifts the week after. I thought I was going to be capable of so much more and be so much stronger. And the fact is, I just wasn't. And I wanted to know why. I thought I'd been really prioritising my training. And so I had a chat with my coach and tried to understand what else could I be doing better. So fortunately, I was about to run a bulk period, which I did for 14 weeks. I've just come out of that, so I'm a couple of weeks into a cut again now. I'm feeling much better. I'll touch more on that later. But effectively, I've made training the central focus of my life. I've never missed a session. I'm in bed 8 to 9 hours every single night, even on weekends. My alcohol consumption is minimal. And my food and diet is on point, high protein, healthy, whole foods. And that, paired with the fantastic training I've been receiving, has done me amazing things. I mean, just take a look at these lifts. I've gone from a 220 deadlift to a 250 deadlift in 16 weeks. I've gone from a 200 kilo iffy squat to a fast 230 kilo squat. And I went from a 125 bench to a 140 bench. That was all in the space of 16 weeks by running a Norwegian multi-frequency method and then a conjugate method straight after it, and absolutely giving 100% during those sessions. So take a quick look at the PR lifts right now, and then we'll come back. So as you can see, absolutely insane results. I couldn't have been happier with how these last 2 blocks ended. 16 weeks, 4 months, not a long time. And I finally feel that I'm in a place to come back to, you know, social media, to YouTube. And, you know, I look at my old videos and think, you know, I didn't know anything. And whilst I don't know everything, and I've still got a hell of a lot to learn, I feel like I'm in such a good place of knowledge and understanding of you know, how to make these improvements, that actually I may as well start putting content out again. I didn't want to put content out anymore because I thought I'm shit. And whilst I'm still not the strongest, I've now got this fire lit in me and this progress that I'm about to start making. And it is going to be insane. Like next year, you know, I've got 300 kilo squats incoming. I've got 300 kilo deadlifts incoming. You know, these aren't that far away. These are within the next 12 months. So, and you know, as far as I'm concerned, that is friggin' epic. Granted, my weight is up from the comp. So the comp weight I competed at was just over 100 kilos. I'm currently sat at 112. So I got up to 118 at the end of the bulk. And then as soon as I stopped eating like loads, like force feeding myself, again, we'll touch on that in a minute, the weight just started dropping off me. But yeah, we ran the Norwegian multi-frequency method for 8 weeks. So effectively, that is just like paying the volume gods. That was squatting 4 times a week. And each week you add a set and drop a rep and push the weight, and you sort of run week 1 to 4 and then weeks 5 to 8, and then did a little testing week at the end of that, which was pretty sick. And that's when I started to go, holy shit, I've, you know, focused so much of my life and around this training and this lifestyle, and, you know, as I say, eating right, minimizing alcohol intake, you know, sacrificing social events, things like that. But oh my God, it paid off. Oh my God. And what my coach said to me was, we'll do this Norwegian block. And I was really honest with him. And I'll be honest with you guys, it's boring. It's not an enjoyable block. It's just hard. It's not fun. You've just got to go in and do the work over that 8 weeks. And then he said, we'll build that as a foundation block. And then when we do the conjugate on top of it, that will catapult you into these PBs. And Jesus Christ, he was not wrong. He told me how this would work and how this would happen. And I trusted him, I went for it, and it was sick, as you can see. So I've actually just started another Norwegian block, which is then going to take me into another conjugate block, so another 16 week. I've just finished week 1. We're going to get some filming for the next episode of the Norwegian method and how it works, maybe touch base with Tom again. And yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Right, so I'm just cooking some Scran, some Scranny DeVito, some Scrangelina Jolie, some Scran Helsing, some Nelson Scrandella. Nothing exciting, just turkey and pasta, because I am on a cut again now, and we'll have some veg with it as well, because I'm a naughty boy. So, let's talk about diet and food. Let's just put you right there. There we go, that's nice. End of my last cut, just before comp, I entered the comp at 101 kilos, which was frustrating as hell because it meant I was in a whole other weight class, but you know, it wasn't important on the day because I did so terribly. I felt good, I was lean, I looked kind of like this. And then I ran a 14-week bulk where I went up to 117.5 kilos, which I did not enjoy at all, but I looked like this. Some saucy pictures of me in my underwear. And it was horrible by the end of it. Like, eating like 4,000 to 5,000 calories of healthy whole foods is a lot harder than it sounds. Everyone was like, oh, but you really enjoying bulking. It was minging. It would get to the point, like, training was sick because I was just like so full of energy, so like full of food, like boom. And I would eat in the morning, feel fine, come back from training, have a massive post-workout meal, feel great, and then the eating started. Then it was like every couple of hours, more food, and it was just so much carbs and meat and veg. And like one of the nights, I think it was training night, I would sit here with this massive bowl of like 8.6 metric tons of pasta, half a cow of mince. And I would just sit here on the couch, and that wasn't even my last meal, that was like 6-7 p.m. I would just sit here on the couch, and I'd just be trying to eat it, and it would just be dropping out, and I'd be like, ugh. And I would eat, and I would sit here with this like big bloated stomach, and like, I'd still have like another meal of like Weetabix or bagels or something to have before I'd go to bed, and I just hated it. So to say, back into the cut now. I think this is week 2 or week 3, down to 112.6 kilos, which is pretty tasty. And then I am going to diet down, ideally between now and the beginning of February, to 100 kilos ish, again, hopefully a little bit under, which then gives me 6 or 7 weeks right up to the end of March to run another bulk phase. And this thing is going to be friggin' epic. The size I'm looking to put on in this and the strength, and there is a reason for that. But first, steppies. So just out on one of my morning walks, back on 12,000 steps a day, which is actually a lot harder to get in around training and eating and work, but you got to make it work. I mean, some mornings if I'm on site I have to leave my house at 6:20, so that means I'm out walking at 5 a.m. and then getting back to the house at like 6 p.m. and then back out for walking again. So it's actually pretty much a nightmare. It's easier when I'm working from home because I can get like a quick walk in after the gym, and then like a lunchtime or early morning walk or mid-morning walk, and then another walk in the late afternoon or evening. So it's a lot easier. Not always on my own. Got the little Squeaklestons who doesn't like to be on camera, who comes with me sometimes. So we get our walks in and chew the fat, so to speak. So you need to buy one of those gimbals. This camera's so bouncy. So what they're called, gimbals. But yeah, back on 12.5k steps a day. Enjoying the weight drop, feeling good. As I get lighter, the steps feel easier. When I started off on 10k when I was at the top of my weight and just couldn't be arsed walking, and it's difficult when it's raining as well because you've still got to get the steps in no matter what, and I just fucking hate the rain. So yeah, nice early Sunday morning walk. I think it's about 7 a.m. Feeling fresh, feeling good. Onwards to the weight loss, I guess, and to be comp ready. Catch you in a bit. So what are the next steps? Well, you just heard, get comp ready. So I have entered the European qualifiers for British Powerlifting, which are on the 19th of March in Warrington, seeing as all of the comps down here, the qualifiers down here, were booked up pretty much on the same day they opened, which was a pain in the arse. Powerlifting just may not be as widely done up north, I don't know. But I've got into that qualifier, and the next steps are now, as I said, run an 8-week Norwegian multi-frequency method, then run an 8-week conjugate method, and then I've got a couple of weeks left to get into comp. And I'm looking at some pretty big things. I'm looking at 250 plus on my squat and deadlifts, and 150 plus on my bench, and I think that's easily achievable. So absolutely buzzing for that. Going to be filming the whole journey. So the next 16 weeks I'm going to document it. Going to get a lot more gym filming this time around, a lot more day to day of what I'm doing, what I'm eating, how I'm feeling. As I say, I'm running a cut and then I'm running a bulk, so be able to see how they are, how that is day to day. The last 16 weeks, as I said, have been epic, and you know, they've taught me so much. So hopefully if I document the next 16 weeks of these eating, dieting phases and these training phases, you know, hopefully you could take something from that, because it's been phenomenal. So look forward to taking you guys on that journey. And that is it for today. So yeah, as of next week, we'll be filming the multi-frequency method in the gym. So another video will be out in about 2 weeks. So if you like what you saw today, again, please subscribe to the channel, drop the video a like, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.